And my first attempt at section 3 didn't work out as planned. So I've come back to Colville Bay and I'm gonna re-hike this section in its entirety. So let's give it a go. But I realized what my mistake was, and I really didn't follow the planned route I had last time. I just kind of did my own thing. I kind of saw with my eyes what I wanted to do and then followed that, and ended up being wrong. What I did was I took a route that was too close down to Lake Mead. It's really sandy there. I think this time I'm going to stick to a route that stays a little bit further north of Lake Mead, and this time I'm going to hit the top of that mesa up there, Black Mesa. So it's been 2.5 months since I've completed this hike. I really haven't done anything other than day hikes in between. Been living in my camper van, exploring old mines, looking for gems and minerals, doing some day hikes, things like that. But I haven't done anything overnight, so I haven't used this backpack. Went to put it on this morning. Definitely had to loosen up that hip belt a little bit. All these washes are running towards the lake like little fingers. And since I'm going this way, I've got to go up and over all these drainages. And it's not inherently obvious, you know, to the eye what the best path is. A little bit better look at the canyon I'm going to follow. It's looking pretty scenic. I'm pretty sure this is the exact same path I followed last time. The only difference is I went left here, and this time I'm going to go right. So it's a pretty cool wash though. I'm really digging this wash so far. I think it was definitely worth coming back and taking a second crack at section 3 here. I think I like this route better already. Oh, look at the clarity on this one. Man, that is cool. Yeah, and I thought this stuff was gypsum earlier. Honestly, I think it's selenite. Selenite. The clarity on that, that's cool. And you can see through that almost just like glass. I'm approaching the top of this wash now, unnamed wash. It's led me to the base of Black Mesa. I've got about a 700-foot climb ahead of me to get to the top. I don't really need to do it. Could just walk around the mesa, but that's kind of not the point. The point is to see cool stuff. So I'm gonna go up to the top. Wow. This one's actually a bit of a climb. There's really no good footholds. All right, moving on. Pretty much at the base of the mesa now, so I think I'll climb out of the wash and follow this ridge line up. just got to climb up a couple hundred feet through this boulder field. Right, top of Black Mesa. Let's look out at the Muddy Mountains, Pinto Valley Wilderness, where I came from. In fact, I can see the Sentinel. Ah, yeah, nice. Nice view. And from here, the top of Black Mesa, you could pretty much see of all of Section 3. And you can also see the mistakes I made on my route last time. I stayed closer to the shoreline. You can see that lighter colored sand down there. That's all deep sand. There's no roads or paths or anything through there. That was all quite a pain to walk to. You get to that point over there, Boxcar Cove and Crawdad Cove, and there are some roads that run to the lake, but not parallel to it. But what I'm gonna do this time is descend Black Mesa here, hit Northshore Road, walk that for 1 mile, take a road that runs southwest, kind of cuts a diagonal path down to Government Wash, and that'll give me easy access to Las Vegas Wash, and that's where I'll round the extreme western end of Lake Mead, and then I'll follow this mountain range here, the River Mountains, and start heading south for the rest of the hike. All right, now it's time to start looking for a way down off this thing. Not that way. I find it kind of funny, this is called Black Mesa. Like literally every mesa I've ever walked was named Black Mesa or Blacktop Mesa. So it doesn't seem like there's a lot of variety in the mesa realm when it comes to naming conventions. Route down's pretty steep, but it's also pretty stable looking and fairly short. So get down to about that point, should be all right. So that's it for Blacktop Mesa. That was my route down. Really wasn't that bad at all. So that worked out pretty well. Get a little bit of a road walk coming up, probably no shade. Take a break here. And these are the kind of things that hide in between the contour lines on the map, you know, 40-foot contour line. This is a 20-foot ravine. So yeah, this doesn't even show up on the map, and I gotta go up and over like, looks like a solid 10 of them before I reach the road. All right, so I want to go this way. I'm just gonna stay just to the right of these red outcroppings. Gonna keep me on track. Not a bad view for a road walk though. At least it's only a mile. This is my turnoff for Government Wash. Honestly, this road walk's not even that bad. I think it kind of comes down to what kind of mood you're in that day though, you know, like you have good days and bad days just like anybody else, but out here I think those are kind of amplified, you know. When everything's going good, I wouldn't mind doing this like today, you know. Today's feeling good today, you know. And when I did this hike the first time back in October, I guess it was just an off day, the day I hitched out of here. I was walking through all this stuff, but it was like deep sand, just a real pain in the ass. I just wasn't having it that day, you know, and I just kind kind of made a spur of the moment decision. I was just going to hitch down like 5 miles down Northshore Drive and just kind of bypass the Lake Mead part and get back up to the river mountains. But my hitch kind of kept driving, and by the time I realized where she was, I was way past the spot I needed to stop at. I just said, you know what, forget it. I'll come back and do this section another time. I'm not too fussed about it. So here we are. There's a look back at Black Mesa. I was on that about an hour and a half ago. Now this is the western end of Lake Mead. That's the Black Mesa I walked earlier today. Colville Bay on the other side of that. And yeah, Lake Mead pretty much ends right here, and you can see Las Vegas Wash pouring out into Lake Mead. I'll be working my way upstream along Las Vegas Wash. I just got a series of these ridges to go up and over. And this is kind of neat, a little protected bay here. Yeah, I think I'll go up and around this one. Just over here, I think this is an interesting area to navigate because on the topo maps it shows all this area underwater. You got to really look at the satellite to kind of see what's going on. And the Las Vegas Wash begins right behind me there, but on the map it's still like 1.5 miles as the crow flies that way. And you can see my GPS marker here has me right on the edge of Lake Mead, but yet we look up and there is no Lake Mead. Las Vegas Wash. So Lake Mead would have been right here, and the wash wouldn't have even started until, you know, way up there. Man, look at the depth of this dried mud here. This is about 15 inches deep, 18 inches deep. This is nuts. I've never seen anything like this. Remnants of an old boat. There's a motor right here. And this here is Gypsum Wash. Looks like it'd be a pretty decent walk if I was going to follow it for any length, but pretty soon I'm going to head out of the wash and take another direction. Sad to see all this garbage everywhere, but that's kind of the reality of being by a lake, I guess. Any popular one. All right, and now Las Vegas Wash is just right here, so I'm paralleling it, and I'm just gonna follow it west for a little ways. Not down there though. I'm gonna try and stay up here. I'm gonna have to stay up here. That's just a little too thick to walk. Well, it's actually pretty cool if the route stays up high like this, like it's kind of looking for a ways. This is gonna be a pretty nice walk. You know, the funny thing is I don't really see any footsteps either, any footprints. I can see there's a bit of a path, but you know, not a single footprint. So I guess nobody really comes back here and walks this. Not to give any spoilers away for the rest of this hike or anything, but it's really nothing else along my route compares to this. It's a pretty dry route. It's not like you're following big rivers like this one for very often, so pretty unique experience really for the desert. It's time to empty out all the crap that's accumulated in my shoe. And I just thought this was kind of funny. I'm using the same shoes that I hiked with this fall. I went through 2 pairs on the Mojave-Sonoran Trail, and I saved the old pairs because I usually just wear them around the house or, you know, just kind of day to day after my hike. And I started the hike with these just completely worn out today. So I've got no tread, and I've been slipping and sliding, and I just wonder if these are even going to make it to the end of the hike, or if I'm going to be walking on my socks by the time this thing's over. Well, I don't know. What do you think? Place your bets. Is this shoe going to last to the end of the hike or not? It's getting a little challenging to follow. Ow. Ow. Be a tight fit. Oh. It's really nice hearing that roaring water, especially in the desert. I guess the ironic thing is it's so hard to get down to it that even if I needed this water, which I really don't, it'd be a real pain to get to it. And what a cool walk. Really wasn't expecting much out of this Las Vegas wash, but yeah, really digging it. Very walkable too. Well, I guess here's where it gets interesting. So on the map, it looks like there's kind of a deep, narrow canyon that's gonna hit the water here. So I'm gonna back away from the water, go up this canyon a little bit. And unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to get past this rock wall here. If I go to the left, kind of stay along the track that I want to, I'm going to have to go up the wash a little bit, look for a way up and around it. Yeah, this should do for my route up. Drops off pretty steep on this side. I wasn't expecting this. All right, well, at least it's easy going for a little bit. This is a cool little bridge walk. I think I can make this. This is going to be slippery though. Once I get down this wash, it should be all right. It's pretty soft, so as long as it remains soft, I'll be good, because you can just sort of dig your heels in and slide, you know. But if this was solid, I would just slip right down this and scoot down, and we don't want that. All right, down in the wash now. It's pretty cool. I don't want to give away any spoilers on the rest of the series, but I will say there is a lot of stuff like this. A lot of really colorful, really enjoyable, beautiful canyons and washes just like this along the whole route. Oh, and that's what I really liked about this walk. Look at these canyons, man, that is cool. All right, back to the river. Now I'm just hoping that there's a path to follow the rest of the way along the river. Oh, I even see a footprint. First footprint I've really seen this whole way. I saw the road on the other side. I was wondering what was going on with that. It looks like they're gonna build maybe a bridge across, or I mean, it's gotta be. It looks like they just kind of graded this road. They just cut this road. Actually, I gotta figure out how to get down to it. And this is gonna be another fun one. Hope it's soft. It's not as soft as I wanted. Whoa! Ah! Ow! Whew! Ah! I was hoping it was a little softer than that. A little road rash. But we're down. And actually, here's some access to the river. This is really the first and only access I've had to get right up on it like this without, you know, going way out of my way and having to fight a whole bunch of thick brush. At least I can wash off my hand a little bit. This water's far from the cleanest. It's coming right out of Las Vegas, so it's got a special smell to it and possibly a taste if I were to filter it. But I stashed myself a gallon of water along the road yesterday, so if I hadn't done that, this would be a fine access point for water. This is where I would get my water and it would filter totally fine. Well, this is it for Las Vegas Wash. Pretty much the whole north side of Lake Mead. And this is Northshore Drive. Now I've got about a 3-mile road walk along the road before I enter the river mountains over there and make camp for tonight. Well, this is good to know after I just washed my face in the stream, my open wound. Water in the stream contains contaminants found in runoff from urban areas and treated sewage. Human contact not recommended. But yet, I've contacted it. About an hour of daylight to go. 3 miles to my destination. Should be cutting it pretty close. Man, now that is a view. That's just awesome. And yesterday before the hike, I drove around the route, dropped off a gallon of water in the bushes. Looks like it's still there. So this way I don't have to do any water filtering. It's just an overnight. All right. You mine now. Now it's time to cross the road and enter this old mine. And this mine's called the Three Kids Mine, or also known as the Wheel of Misfortune Mine. You can see these big circular cement things, and people have spray painted the Wheel of Fortune wheel around it, but with like zeros and stuff. And unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of time to really check this out. I'm trying to get away from the road a little bit, find a place to camp for tonight. Unsafe mine, you say? Sounds like the perfect place to camp. You can see Vegas down there, you can see the strip. And there you go. Huge open pit mine. The wind's kind of coming in from this direction here, so I think I'm going to utilize this natural windbreak and camp somewhere right here. I'm certainly not going to cowboy camp tonight. As soon as I do, you know, it's going to rain. Got a lot of sand in the shoes today, that's for sure. Got a ton of it in my socks.